And we live. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Bucks. And we back. Episode 5, part 2. I was hoping and praying to whatever God y'all believe in that the Hebrew guy was coming back. But as I thought, he did not. He did not bring his teacher as he said he would. But the show must go on anyway. And today, we got a new face, even though you will not be able to see it.
Oh, we see it.
Well, yeah, we see it, but not her video, not the live video stream. If we could, this would be a very X-rated stream, and we can't have that.
Different conversation.
Amatula, say hi to the people, please.
Hi.
Hi. Amatula is very smart. She is very, very, very smart. I knew Amatula for how many years?
Since we were like 8 or not, like 9. No, like 8.
Really?
Probably younger than that.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Probably younger than that. Probably 7, 8. Yeah, it's around those years though. And she has been smart the whole damn time. Yeah, I used to think she was going to be the first woman president of the United States. I lie to you not. And I still think it's possible. It is still possible. I'm not putting it past you at all.
That's really sweet. That is so sweet.
Right into this. What happened?
I'm just sitting there.
What you say, bro?
Is she trying to be president? That's the move?
Oh, no, not at all.
She going to just invade the country like that, live on air?
Oh, that is not the move. I'm just sitting there, like, I just have a hunger for knowledge and intellectual conversations.
Live on air, she was like, no, don't even sign me up for that.
No, thank you. No.
Oh.
All right, so yeah, we're going to get right into this. We're going to start off with last week. Wait, before we do that, let me share this on Facebook. I always forget to do this. And I'm
not touching the laptop this time, so we good.
I got you.
Let's see, last week.
That's actually a great thing. Last week, a nigga got banged on for the first time on a live YouTube stream ever. Last time. Because a nigga got banged on.
Wow.
A nigga got banged on. So yeah, we're going to try not to, although we made history last time, we're going to try not to do that this time. I don't think it's going to happen this time. It shouldn't, because I'm not going to shut the laptop.
Well, I'm using my phone and my hands are wet, so I can't escape anywhere.
Oh, okay. Please don't drop the phone in the tub. We don't need you frying.
It's on an even surface. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Cool. We don't need you frying on the live stream.
Not at all. Not cute.
All right, and the post is, I don't want to lie, so we're going to wait until it's actually shared. Because shit happens. All right, let's post it. Let's get it. We're going right in. Last week, the reason that this is a part 2 of episode 5 instead of just being episode 6 is because last week, if you didn't tune in, we had a Hebrew Israelite guy, and he had some very, very, very interesting and controversial points, at least to me, who actually knows the truth. So We're gonna touch. He was supposed to come back this week with his teacher. He didn't show up. He didn't answer any of my messages. He's running scared, if you ask me. So we just going to reiterate some of the things that some of the points that he stated last week, and get Amatullah. I don't really know if we need Bro's opinion, but we could get it anyway, and we can get mine too, just to seal it all off and end that whole topic. Yeah, we're gonna get everybody's opinions on that, and then we're gonna head on right to the next topic. We ain't even gonna waste too much time on it. Let's see. What was the first thing I said I was gonna touch on?
You were gonna recap last week.
But remember I said keep that one thing in mind. That was the first thing I was gonna ask you. What was it?
Oh crap. What you wanted to ask me what I thought about something.
Right. But what was it?
Nobody told me, so I can't even remind you.
I forgot. But all right, forget it. I'm sure we'll run into it at some point.
It was about the Hebrew Israelite thing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure we'll run into it at some point. So we just going. Let's start off with
I'm talking to somebody that's watching this, and she said you always forget. That's your favorite word.
I smoke a lot of weed.
Like every show, you forget something, and you be like, I forgot.
I smoke a lot of weed. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Weed makes you forget shit. Anyway.
I got you an answer live on air.
So yeah. Let's start on the first thing. Hold on, it's hot in here.
That was fun. I gotta do this for another. I got a whole answer. You heard him shout you up?
All right, let's get it. This man said he is not from Africa. This man is this color complexion. This is his complexion right here. The color of my dreadlock. And he said he is not from Africa. And Matula, what do you say about that? This Hebrew Israelite who's from Israel.
So I think that even if someone is not necessarily Afrocentric or anything like that, when you look at evolution, it's been proven that we all as humankind have been in Africa at some point in time. So even if he believes that he started out in Israel, humankind did not form in Israel. They were all in Africa. Even Adam and Eve were in Africa at one point in time. And people have migrated, whether it be to Israel, back to Africa. Since he follows the Hebrew or Judeo-Christian idea, it would be Africa to Israel, to Egypt, back to Israel. So again, life starts in Africa. So I think it's a falsification of history where a whole group of people are saying that they're not from Africa, and specifically very melanated sub-Saharan African looking people. So I think somewhere along the line there's a cognitive dissonance there, but that's just my opinion.
Heavy cognitive dissonance. And we even got him to point out the surrounding states or countries and got him to admit that they are in Africa. And he still denied that he was from Africa. That's the stupidness, I'm gonna say, for lack of a better word, that you will get from studying and full on believing every word in that Bible.
Well, that's where I disagree. I think that the Hebrew Israelites are either misunderstanding or creating their own creation story. I mean, Adam and Eve, their environment is talked about in the Bible, where they're in a very hot climate. The Bible discusses how some of the people look. So it's very clear that they are in Africa and melanated people. I just think that throughout time, even with Europeans, in order to relate to the Bible and their new Christian identity, because they were pagan before, they had to make Jesus white. They had to make everyone in the Bible white. And I think the same thing goes for Hebrew Israelites. In order for them to, I don't know, have this sense of identity and belonging, they paint a different picture.
So let me ask you this.
Nice.
Do you think that the Bible was made to, like the actual Bible itself, the one that was printed and published in the 1600s, do you think that Bible itself was made with the intention to control a certain race, or I'm gonna say that, a certain race or a certain people?
A certain people, yes. I don't think it was primarily written to control Black people. I think that was a byproduct of why it was written. At the time that it was written, the Bible, that the King James version of the Bible was not the first Bible. So King James at the time, if you don't know his history, he was a very notorious and brutal king. I think he had a bit of mental illness, but that's just me. He actually arranged for this translation of the Bible because the Bible that they used was in Latin.
Right.
So it really fits his idea of Christianity. It's not to say that they didn't translate things correctly, but I think that there is a bias in the King James version as far as their translations of words are concerned from the Latin language. So maybe instead of choosing one synonym, they chose another, and then that changes the entire meaning of the sentence. And so I think as colonialism came about for the English, they were able to use that because their Bible was used to control the subjects of the English land, and then in turn they could control other people. And so it really bothers me when people really feel like that the King James version, I mean, the fact that it's called the King James version is very bothersome. That means that he doesn't care about it being for everyone else. People were not even literate at that time. A lot of people weren't. So I think it was used to
I'm actually glad you brought King James up, because that takes us into something which led me to create a timeline of facts about things that were happening during King James's era and facts about King James himself. Because this man claims that King James was black.
No, he was not.
Exactly. He swears up and down King James was black. He's swearing up and down King James was not a homosexual. Up and down that everything I'm saying and everything in that Bible, he said,
so where is he
things
getting
men say are a lie, except for the things that are in the Bible. Completely leaving out of mind that a man wrote the Bible. Men wrote the Bible.
this from that King James is black? Why does he say that King James is black?
He never gave me any type of evidence. He never gave me any type of explanation. He never gave me any type of nothing. He just kept saying, young man, you're very misinformed. King James was a black man. He wasn't gay. Blah, blah. I'm like, yo, timeline said where he was born at in England. It said where he died at. It said he showed who his parents were, which my brother knows. Who's his mom name?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember, bro?
What'd you say?
What was King James' mom name?
His mom was Queen Mary. They actually have a TV show about her called Reign, and Mary is not black at all.
And Pop ain't black neither. And they all from the UK. And on top of that, there ever, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there has been ever in history any black kings or queens in England.
She was the Queen of Scotland originally, and there are what black people?
Queen of the United Kingdom, or Queen or Kings of the United Kingdom. Have there ever been any black kings or queens in the United Kingdom? Either way, y'all.
And for somebody that's watching this to like try to answer that.
Right. I mean, the answer is no. The answer is no, and here's why. Because, you know, again, with evolution, or even if you believe that all creation starts in Africa, when they came into England thousands of years prior to King James, they wanted to remain a pure line to the throne. So
exactly.
they may have been mixed with other European nations because England was conquered by the Roman Empire in the 800s. They were conquered by the French. So, and also intermarrying with other people, other nations to maintain that strong European network. So, you know, that's what marriage was for. And you had to have a pure line. Black people were not a part of that, I guess, the English crown. I mean, no, absolutely not. He was not black.
Exactly.
And if he had black children, they were illegitimate children. Anyone that was born outside of the king and the queen were considered illegitimate children. And so if you trace that back, there are no black people, no biracial people involved.
Right. All right. So now let me ask you this: are you aware that he was a homosexual, a known homosexual?
I mean, as far as him being a known homosexual, I don't know. I don't put it past him because a lot of people did that back in the day, especially when they were high in power, simply because they could. Even if they were married to women, or in some cases, women were married to men. So I don't put it past them. A lot of them did that. They had gay relationships, and they are very popular.
Being as though you said you don't know, I'm just going to put out there that there are many, many, many accounts of him and homosexual lovers, and their names have even been taken account of too. Like these are dukes and sirs of different places. And I've been trying to look for it. It's somewhere on my Facebook. We was having a conversation. I don't feel like looking through all of this shit because I post a lot of stuff on Facebook. But, multiple accounts. This man was a known homosexual. Do you think?
What does that really have to do with anything, though?
I'm getting to that. I was just about to ask you the point of me even saying that, because I'm not trying to gay bash on here. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm not trying to, I don't want to be hit with no hate crimes here. I don't hate gay people. I mean, that's not how I get down personally, but to each his own. But when it comes to religion, and religion such as, especially Christianity, which says homosexuality is bad, is a sin, should we trust a Bible that is named in honor of a known homosexual? Should we trust it?
But bro, the picture of Jesus that's floating around is a homosexual.
It is. We're gonna get to that in a minute, because she put me D with that. She's the one that actually. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I need to know the answer to that question, there, Matula. What do you think about that? Is it okay that no homosexual has an entire Bible written in his name?
You skipped the Jesus part.
Well,
No
We're gonna
homosexual.
get to that. We're gonna get to that. Hold on. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
but like I said before, I personally am not aware that he was known as a homosexual. I'm not saying. I think there's a difference between King James having sex with men and being a homosexual. Because again, a lot of people had lovers, whether it be women, transgender, or men, but they consider themselves straight. Now, to us or to you, if you have sex with anyone of the opposite sex, that makes you gay. But I
That's
don't,
what gay is.
but not necessarily. It, homosexuality is just as complex as being a heterosexual. I'm not saying that I get down like that or I agree with it or that I'm a guru at it, but I just think that it's a lot more complex than just having sex with someone. And a lot of times when we think about homosexuality, that's the only thing that we refer back to. So again, I don't think that I don't know. I don't have the background to say, well, yes or no. But again, I don't think him having gay lovers makes him a homosexual in a nutshell. I think it just makes him attracted to men and he likes having sex with men. But maybe he doesn't see himself in a romantic relationship or with those complex feelings that we as heterosexuals feel to one another.
All right. All right. Let me ask you this. I see I have to rephrase this question because you are way too intelligent for what I just said.
I get your question, but I wanted to answer that first. Now let's just say that he was gay. Okay, let's just say that he was all right doing his thing. He's gay. So trusting the Bible. Now we have to do our research and compare the King James Bible to I forget the Bible that was translated. I think it's the Geneva Bible that they translated and made it into the King James version. But if you compare the two, they're not that different. But again, the Bible, the translations throughout the centuries are awful of the Bible. But just comparing the two, they're not that different. So yeah, I get where you're going with this. That basically the Bible encourages, I guess, white supremacy or homosexuality, or what have you. But I think that's a stretch there.
You think it's a stretch? All right. So how about this? Right? A known pedophile in your area creates a program for kids who have been child molested. Is that okay?
But your question is different from that. What you're
No, I just want to know. I just want to know the answer to that question.
It is wrong because he's coming out of
Okay.
but it's different. Your analogy does not fit your
Is it?
question. It's different
Is
because
it different?
yes, because your analogy does not fit your question. We're talking about
It
a
doesn't.
book. We're talking about a book that is translated from previous books. And I made the point that the two translations are not that different. So the King James version is pretty synonymous to the Geneva Bible that they translated from Latin. But what the analogy you're saying is that if a known pedophile is coming out with a book, he's coming out with his own book. There's no type of translation. There's no type of reference. The King James Bible has a reference, and that's what they use to translate it into English. I'm not saying that it's a perfect book. That's not what I'm saying. But the point that you're trying to make is that essentially this King James Bible is heavily just coming out of thin air, and it's just about King James. And I just beg to differ.
I never insinuated that it was about King James in any way. In fact, it doesn't say King James anywhere in the Bible. My issue is, why is this holy book, I'm gonna say, that speaks about his lifestyle being wrong, being named in honor of him, when the book itself does not honor him. In fact, the book says opposite of what he's doing. The book basically condemns him.
Well,
So why is this man's name on the front?
right.
I don't think. And on top of
I
that,
understand, but I mean, very plainly, he's the king, and there's no one over them that's gonna override him. I mean,
I feel you.
who's gonna tell him, "Oh, you can't name a book after"? I mean, in their mind, back in that time, the king was the closest thing to God. So by disobeying your king, you're essentially disobeying God
Okay.
in their thought. And there's also no one of hierarchy to check him and say, dude, like you humping all these guys, like nah, you're not naming this book
I could
after
dig that.
Hmm?
I could dig that 100%. But that was in the 1600s. We are now in 2017. And this man is telling me the only Bible you can trust is the King James Version.
Oh no,
And
absolutely
that
not.
King James was a black man, and that Israel is not in Africa, and that he is not black, and that I don't even want to look.
Well, the thing is, I think that honestly, like the points that you just made that he's making, I wouldn't even bother wasting my time discussing it because it's not factual. So I think we should just, I'm not trying to be a host, but I just wouldn't give too much thought and energy into that because to me, if there's no type of evidence unless it's a falsification of history to support what he's saying, that's just ridiculous. All of it is ridiculous.
Thank you.
Oh, see, I knew we would come to it. I knew we would come to it. This is what I wanted to ask you first. The bullshit he said that created history. It created YouTube history. It created YouTube live stream history. A nigga got banged on live on YouTube. This man said, and I quote, magic is from the devil.
It just said, okay.
I'm gonna reiterate that. This man said magic is from the devil created magic is what this man said to us live on air, and he got banged on.
I'm sorry, man. God was like, make him shut up. He gotta go. Do something. Hurry up. Do something where you going to hell. Hurry up.
Yo,
I was like, all right.
hilarious. But what,
I did not have control over my body. I was standing up and something just grabbed the laptop and closed it just immediately.
nigga got banged on live.
Magic was from the devil. What? What? Ah!
It got real dark for Bull real quick. He was like, hello? Y'all still there? He was checking under his laptop, like, where y'all go? But what's your take on that, Amatula? What do you think about that? Where's magic from?
Wow. So I guess then he believes that the Hebrew God is the devil because one can argue that by simply speaking or speaking things into existence like people and the earth and the stars and the moon and the sun is magic. If someone who is not from that tradition reads Genesis, they would consider that magic. So I would offer him to do a little more research. I think that what people have a problem with, well, not a problem, but where people try to say that magic is evil or from the devil is how people use magic. But I think that's a different discussion from today. But I don't personally think that magic in itself is evil because God, all the prophets have done miracles which one could say and argue and have full evidence that that would be considered magic. So again, I don't know why you wasting time on this guy, but that don't even make sense to me.
It's fun. It's fun to me to hear how people think and what they really, really go through every day of life believing in. Like, how are you living like this, bro?
Look,
What's up with you? All right, listen. This is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna shine no more light on that situation.
bull at all.
He gets no more. He gets no more light unless he decides to hop on in here and we continue the conversation like
Because I'm
continue
shooting.
on.
Well, I mean, the Hebrew Israelites are the same group of people that have so much to say about women. And the audience, the women that they're talking to are Black women, although they will argue that they're not from Africa. So, I mean, along with this blatant, I don't know, just he's making up his own stories, okay? This is not even history. And so with that and the fact that his audience is Black women, I think that this group is very damaging to the upliftment of Black people. I mean, how are we supposed to learn our history and, you know, become unified in some sense and embrace each other as Black brothers and sisters? And these people are just totally lying, just blatant lies about history and have so much to say about the group of people, women who are instrumental in producing humans. Like, I just can't understand. I can't understand it. You can do it. They can say as much research as they've done all they want. Apparently, they need to spend another 40 or 50 years studying it because it just doesn't make sense to me at all.
And this is what we have to do with. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I actually video and he pointed out something that was very interesting to me about the whole Hebrew Israelite movement. The founder of it was actually from Ethiopia. And he came, if I'm not mistaken, he came to America, linked up with a Jewish guy, a rabbi, which then they got into a Masonic lodge, and at some point he died. But now, or I'm not gonna say now, it didn't happen now, but it's still taking place now. There is a agenda that the United States have in place to stop the Pan-African movement, to stop Africans from connecting with Africans in Africa. I'm sorry. They're trying to stop Africans in Africa from connecting with Africans in America or anywhere else for that matter, because they understand how detrimental that is, or detrimental it could be.
That's that unity I was talking about.
So I would ask, is that a new phenomenon, like the last 50 years, or is that, are you saying that has always happened since the colonization of Africa?
One of the recent presidents, within the last 5, let me see, Donald Trump, Obama, Bill Clinton, George Bush, Reagan was before him?
Reagan was before the senior George W. Bush. So you had Clinton, Bush Sr., and then Reagan.
It was either Reagan or Nixon was before Reagan, right?
Yeah.
I believe it was one of those two who initiated it. To stop at any cost, it says, to stop the Pan-Africanism movement.
The movement, sure, since the term was coined, but I think
no, I don't mean a specific like group of people that's trying to connect. I mean the connection, period. They don't want any type of Africans in Africa having anything to do with any type of Africans anywhere else. And this is what they're pushing. So they actually funded and they're funding the Hebrew Israelites in different ways, and they have different factions that's spreading a lot of misinformation purposely, so that they can prevent that from happening.
Right.
So you actually have actual black people that are choosing money over the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So it's like, talk to these people. I like to hear the stupid shit they got to say out of their mouth, so I can make them feel even stupider. I love it, honestly. I love it. It helps me feel better about myself. So, like I said, we just gonna stop giving these niggas light, any type of light. Gave them enough. Let's move on to the next topic.
I only listen to people like that so that I can bring them into the way that I think. But then at some point, my brain be like, I just can't hear you talk no more.
It's never gonna work. It's never gonna work. They're set in their ways. I've come to realize that they are set in their ways. But
And that's why you got
next topic. Next topic. I ran into a Facebook post earlier that said Aubrey Drizzy Drake Graham is the greatest of all time. And I disagree so heavily because I believe I'm more talented than Drake is, honestly. And then I posted a list of 15 people that I know personally that are more talented than Drake is. The topic of discussion that came out of that for tonight's show, because apparently I see that this is what people are doing. Fame and talent. People get confused. They think it's the same thing. They think you need to be talented to become famous. Why is that?
It's people famous for getting naked. Naked is not a talent.
Let's start with you, bro. Go in. We're gonna start with you.
I ain't mean to do that. I usually let it fly.
It's cool. It's cool. Rock out.
It's people famous for being naked. You telling me that's a talent? You was born naked before they put any clothes on your body. Like, that's not
Facts.
I don't understand. See, being talented means there's something on this planet that you know how to do to a level that few people know how to do it. And everybody does have a talent. I'm not going to say they don't. But because you just got to find what it is. Not everybody's talented in a way that's going to make you famous. But being famous has nothing to do with being talented at all. Like, fame is like a popularity contest. How many people like it? And a lot of people have short attention spans and tend to like things that make them laugh or are stupid for a second so that they can take a break from their lives. You don't need a talent to do that unless you like a clown or a comedian. Shout out to y'all. I didn't mean no disrespect to like comedians or nothing. I'm just saying, like, people, a lot of these songs don't even got no words. He heard some of the new stuff that I was working on. All you really need is like a hook. Like, for real, so that they got something to follow along with, and then you let the beat do the rest. You don't need extra lyricism, and they're not even trying to hear that. Like, extra lyricism. Like, shout out to J. Cole. I say that a lot jokingly, but right now is a good time to actually shout J. Cole. Because he like one of the few lyricists left over that can actually throw you some lyrics in the middle of the whatever you wanted to hear in the first place. But yeah, talent and fame, two different neighborhoods. I was born with a certain time. I could rap easier than I could breathe. I can't walk, but I can rap. Like, that's a talent. But there's people who can't do that. It's people that don't even write their own songs. Other people write their songs, but they know how to perform them. Because when you perform them, people have fun watching your performances, and that's how you got famous. I guess your talent is performing. But as for writing the songs, other people write their songs because they can't do that. Like, fame and talent are two different things. I lose my train of thought sometimes because I think so many things at the same time. In the middle of what I'm saying, I forget the next thing. But yeah, completely two different things.
Completely.
Where's Amatullah? I like what she says and thinks and stuff. It's her turn.
Who said that?
Me.
Will.
Oh. So your question is there a difference between fame and
No, there's clearly a difference. I want your take on the difference.
What is the difference
what is the
and
difference?
why?
I pretty much agree with Will, but something that just came to mind was how talent is associated with our profession. I think that's a more interesting dynamic to look at because there are different professions, and what made me think about this was when Will said like is getting naked a talent, and so I started thinking about people who work in the sex industry, like if they're porn stars, or you even have sex therapists that have sex with their clients for therapy. That's what they consider therapy. And so I was just thinking about that, and
That's a real thing?
Yeah,
Shut up! Shut up!
Yo, that's a real thing. Like this lady, she gets paid. She doesn't consider herself a prostitute, but she gets paid. Like people get paid to cuddle. People get paid to like have sex with 101 with like a sex what do you call like a sex expert or a sex therapist or something. It's in the privacy, and it's in the privacy of like the therapist's home or whatever you want it to be. So the sex industry goes beyond porn, stripping, exotic dancing, and what we're pretty much used to. And so some people would say, well, I'm talented because I'm in the sex industry, or I'm talented because I'm a clown, or I'm a magician, or whatever. So I don't know. I was just thinking like, well, can a talent be learned, or are some talents you're just born with? And I think
You
some
could
you're just
definitely
born with.
learn the talent.
I think you're born with talent, but I think people use that word talent very frivolously. And so when you brought up Drake, like I don't think Drake is the most talented. I think Drake has used his time as acting in his advantage because he has a lot of networks. So my mom, she said something very interesting. She actually cannot stand Drake. She thinks he's an actor. She thinks that he's like on the grassy, that he is basically an actor in the rap game, just like he was an actor in the band in Degrassi or whatever, because he used to play guitar.
I'm gonna mute my mic right now.
Huh?
Yo, he muted his mic. I literally said this earlier. I said that exact same thing earlier. When they were saying he was the greatest of all time, they were saying he was the greatest hip hop artist of all time. I said no, but I will give him all 7 days of the week, all 365 days of the year. I will give him the greatest actor in hip hop. He is definitely that. Definitely that.
Yeah,
the greatest actor hip hop has ever seen. I'm listening. I gotta get the baby.
I just want to say one thing. I usually leave the Drake topic alone. I'm gonna be honest about it. I leave the Drake topic alone for the height of that ladder. Once you get to a certain point, like how you were saying, when you're a king, nobody challenges the king.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point of being famous or popular or rich or whatever, I leave your ladder alone. But I'm gonna say one thing, which I just forgot what it was, but I'm gonna keep talking until I remember it. Oh yeah. Did y'all notice how he only uses the N-word in the songs that are aimed toward black people? Like when he wants to sound hood or when he want to sound down, every other word is the N-word, but in a regular Drake song, it's not like that.
Never noticed that.
I didn't notice.
Put that back. Put it back.
Started from the bottom. Is literally at the end of every line for no reason is the N-word.
Go to sleep. It's bedtime.
So I'm gonna have to put you guys on hold for about like 10 minutes. I'll be back. But you guys keep like talking. Okay.
Okay, we'll wait.
All right.
Bro.
Come on.
She put me on hold for 10 straight. I guess y'all just along with whoever can still hear me, shout out to you. But the baby on TV.
Yo, yo, this nigga stank. It's making me make this face. Oh my god. Yo.
Yes,
I'm about to throw up. Ew. We're gonna take a short commercial break. Y'all can watch my video in the meantime. I'm gonna change this baby. Amatula doing her thing. We'll look like he on the phone. So we're gonna take this commercial break. I'm just gonna share my screen. How you just gonna run away with a doodle butt? It's not okay. Oh my god, he stinks so bad. This joint popping too. Look how many views it got. Shout out to everybody watching. HD every time.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Yeah, he put them on a commercial break, so I don't know if they can hear you, but I'm back with you.
Oh, okay.
You're still watching, right? Can you hear me talking?
Hey, we back.
All right, everybody rolling.
That was a quick commercial break. Say hi, baby. Oh, you gonna start crying as soon as you get back?
I'm debating, should I turn my camera back on?
So, where did we leave off, people?
We were talking about Drake being an actor.
Right, Drake, the greatest of all time, greatest actor of all time. That is, greatest actor of all time ever.
Yeah, and I was putting you on to the fact that he only uses the N-word in the Black people songs.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
He was like, I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that.
I believe it started from the bottom specifically is a great example, unless I got that song wrong. One of them is literally the N-word at the end of every line. I forget.
Nigga, why
Yeah.
you keep... Where is this baby?
End of every line. Really?
That's mainstream, you know.
What'd you say?
I said the use of the N-word is mainstream. He's just trying to make a quick buck. Like, he's just trying to get paid. And I don't fault him for that at all.
That's cool.
You can't fault him for trying to get paid. You can fault him for being fake.
Right.
You gonna start a real beef with a real nigga over some fake shit. That's what killed me about that whole Drake Meek Mill beef. It was like it was over before it even began. The bars didn't matter, the words didn't matter. It didn't matter that Meek didn't respond fast enough. None of that mattered. Drake lost before it began because you are fake, starting to beef over some fake shit with a real. It's about to get real for you. Like, what's wrong with you? You can't respect stuff like that. Like, I can't, at least. I know a lot of people respect fake stuff without a second thought, which was the point of this topic, honestly.
Child at a cookout for the same reason.
Here.
He was like,
There you go. There you go.
Because he was ranked on like 10.
So yeah, I feel the need for another topic. Y'all want to know what this next topic is?
What is it?
Very funny, actually. How long, or I'm not going to say how long, what is it going to take for Donald Trump to be impeached? What is it going to take at this point? At this point,
asking that question in my head like every day.
Is this treason or no?
Fuck him. That's not my president.
All right, but he's still controlling the missiles and whatnot.
I don't got nothing to do with that. Unless he finna send a missile this way, I'm trying to send something back beforehand. But listen, we ain't gonna speak on that over the air. What is it going to take for this man to be impeached? This is what I want to know. It's wrecking my brain. Like,
Shout out to Daquan. I forget your last name, because he was like, some people don't even know why they don't like Donald Trump. What are you talking about, Sway? Listen, he was president for like a week, right? And all of still Team 6 got shot.
they gonna say all
All
of them.
6 got a reason to not like him.
One of them got shot, not all of them. All of them got shot at. I say that. They definitely got shot at because they was pulling up in niggas' hoods when they ain't belong. Listen, bro, you witnessed live in action yesterday while that shit happened. You don't pull up in nobody's hood after you done been threatening them and shit. Like, you, that's not what you do. You don't do
But
that.
they went over there with fault, like with bad intelligence. They ain't had no plan or nothing. Donald Trump sent the goon.
Yo, it's a bet. There is no plan to pull up in somebody's hood unless you pulling up reckless and ready to go. That's the only plan in pulling up in somebody's hood. These niggas went to a different country, and got wrecked doing. Y'all. Come on, Donald. What are you doing?
Flash drive.
Donald, dickhead. What are you doing? Like, what is it going to take for this man to be impeached? Amatullah, please let me wreck your brain for a second. Has there ever been a U.S. president that has been impeached?
Yes, President Nixon, I believe.
Nixon was impeached.
Nixon or Reagan.
What did it take for them to get impeached?
They committed a proven act of treason against the United States government. And it was internal, so I think that was more that was easier to prove. I think with Donald Trump, like, he's wiggling his way out of stuff, but I think eventually catch up to him, because he's definitely committed treason. But I think they're catching him on technicalities, to be honest. Because we can't simply impeach him because we don't like him. That's just not how our government works. So it's going to take a lot for us to really prove that, you know, he should be impeached. But it has happened. Because it was that Watergate scandal that happened.
I didn't hear about that. What was that?
That was like, I think it was in the 70s or the 80s. And I can't recall all the details, but it was, yeah, I'll have to look it up for you. Let me look it up for you. Because I remember reading about it, but this was like years ago. So let's see. Watergate.
Can I see this, please?
Okay, so Watergate was a major political scandal that occurred in the United States in the mid-1970s, following a break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Watergate office complex in Washington, D.C. in 1972. Okay, so it was President Nixon. And President Richard Nixon's administration's attempted cover-up of its involvement when the conspiracy was discovered and investigated by the U.S. Congress, which that's what's going to take for President Trump to get impeached as the U.S. Congress. The Nixon administration's resistance to its probes led to a constitutional crisis. So let's see exactly what the scandal was. The affair began with the arrest of 5 men for breaking and entering into the Democratic National Convention headquarters at the Watergate complex on Saturday, June 17, 1972. The FBI investigated and discovered a connection between cash found on the burglars and a slush fund used by the Committee for the Re-election of the President. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so that refreshed my memory. The official organization of Nixon's campaign in July 1973, evidence mounted against the president's staff, including testimony provided by former staff members in an investigation conducted by the Senate Watergate Committee. The investigation revealed that President Nixon had a tape recording system in his offices and that he had recorded many conversations. So basically, it was mismanagement of funds, and they used a robbery to cover it up. Sounds like something Trump would do. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting.
So you said the Congress is what it's going to take.
Yeah, it would have to be an act of Congress to actually impeach the president.
So since Trump has been in office, what changes has he made to the Congress itself?
Well, for one, the Russian influence in the election, him not paying taxes, and his unconstitutional ban on Muslims from predominantly Muslim countries. And I'm sure I'm missing some other things from the list. But I think what he has to do is actually commit a crime against the U.S. government. With Nixon, this was a break into the Democratic National Convention. Unfortunately, the U.S. Congress seems to be more focused on what Trump is actually doing to Congress and the White House versus what he's doing to the American people, because all of these things are crimes committed against American people and people overseas, which they could care less about. So
Right.
It's going to be an act of Congress, really. Not to say that we can't influence it, because there is a vote that has to take place, but it's really down to Congress. But you have to remember, we're not just having a Republican president. We have a Republican House, we have a Republican Senate, and then he's also nominating just unqualified people that are buying their way into positions. So I think with this impeachment, it can be done, but it's not as easy as people think it is.
And that's why I said I think you misunderstood my question. I said what changes has he made to the Congress? Like has he hired anybody to work in the Congress?
I did
sway that
misunderstand the question.
decision?
I'm sorry. Did he put anybody in Congress? I don't think he actually changed. He did nominate some people. You know, that lady that is over the education. She's like the Secretary of Education. She's and then you have Ben Carson, a brain surgeon who's over urban housing development, simply because he's Black. And then you had someone who actually was fired, Flynn. His last name is Flynn. It was a big scandal going on that recently happened last week. But he was appointed by Donald Trump. So he's just putting very dangerous people into positions of power, just like he is. So I'm nervous. Like the judges that he's gonna try to put in.
This nigga did some crazy shit to my
baby
phone,
boy
yo.
is having the time of his life.
Yo, he did something to my phone. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's like all the colors are inverted. I don't know what he did. What is going on here? You talk to him. Here, you talk to them, bro. I'll fix my phone.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be going to sleep soon because I'm old and I gotta get up and work. So.
Really?
I'm a tool again. Oh.
Yeah, like I got a true 9 to 5, man. I'm old.
Oh man.
We need to hire her.
I told her that a lot of times.
Hire me
I'm
for
in the
what?
position too. Can you chill out? Here.
Hire me for what?
I mean, I can figure that part out, but like we need to put you on rotation somehow so you don't gotta feel like you old.
I appreciate that. That's what's up. Oh man, I can't stand my job. Like, I don't even want to go in. Can't stand it, but
that's okay. It'll be over soon.
Right? I don't even want to clock in. It's so sad. But it'll be over. What are your plans for tomorrow?
For me,
Yeah.
tomorrow I plan. What? I'm probably just gonna be watching the kids again, honestly. And work. Oh no, I gotta go to work. I don't got no 9 to 5, but I'll be working.
That's what's up.
I'll be working.
Just as long as you're making
I gotta
that
go to
money.
this. Gotta go to the smoke shop. I made this crazy design for him earlier.
Hmm.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny. Let me share my screen. Young boy, please chill. Please. That's all I need. I just need you to chill the freak out. Thank you. Appreciate you. You're the best baby ever.
How old is your oldest baby now?
You said how old is the oldest baby?
Mm-hmm.
He's 8.
Wow.
He is 8 and not the baby anymore. Oh, oh, I done found a solution.
He must be
There it is.
sleepy. It's late.
Yep, he's on his way out.
He fighting the sleep.
Only gonna take 10 minutes. He gonna be asleep by 11:03. Can y'all see my screen?
No, I just see
You can't
blackness.
see. All right, let me see. There we go. Can you see my screen now?
No,
Seriously?
seriously,
What about now?
no.
I think that's just your computer. Or,
But I'm using my phone.
I think it's just your phone. Bro, can you see
Don't
my
talk to
screen?
my phone.
No.
For real?
All right,
Oh, all
now
right, here we go.
I
My
see
bad.
it.
That was my fault.
All your fault.
I know.
I ain't clicked the button. All right, here we go.
I'm a tool for.
Here we go. All right. It's loading. It's loading. There it is. You see it? Wait.
Okay. Starbucks coffee juice.
Coffee juice. This is a new brand logo that I'm creating for the smoke shop. They create their own e-juices, and
Wow.
they hired me as their graphic designer to do all the labels. I think I've made about 10 different ones already that they have in rotation and are selling like hotcakes.
That's
So
what's up. That
yeah,
sounds like fun too.
it is. It's a lot of fun,
That's awesome.
right? A lot
I
of the
like
time,
it.
they're basically sponsoring me. Basically, like they give me a bunch of stuff for free. Like they gave me this what is it called? A herb vaporizer. That anybody that smoke weed, you know how that goes. That's healthier than Dutchess tobacco. That tobacco ain't good for you, you know.
Right.
Work up that. You gotta vape the weed instead of smoking it. It's more healthier. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming on the show. We are coming to an end. You are always welcome. I tell you like I tell everybody else as always that have been on the show, I should say. You are welcome to join us every week if you want to.
Just say that. Sometimes you just say that. This time we mean it.
Oh yeah, I really mean it this time. I don't. The dude, he can't come in anytime because I don't really respect his opinion. Yours, I respect your opinion a lot, and I have for a very long time. So yeah, your opinion is always welcome on ArtsyMEDIA TV Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me though. I'm just a nerd, like I said.
Next time we want to see you.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely. Y'all just called me like on a whim. Like I had plans, so I'm sorry. I had plans for self-care.
That's how I work. That's how I work. I just hit people up on a random like, yo, you trying, you know what I'm saying? No? Yeah? All right, bet.
Y'all trying to catch me looking like a whole monster on the camera.
I like natural looks. I don't want anybody to be prepared coming on this show. I like all natural looks. You see my hair? You know what I'm saying?
Your
You're a
hair
guy.
like
That's
that. You stuck
different.
like that. It's a dread lock. You locked in.
Right. That's
These
different.
is long ass naps.
No, it's not.
These is long ass naps. That's what they is. I rock out every day of my life. I don't want nobody coming on here with no makeup on. No, I don't want your hair to be done. I want you to look like
That's
it's all real.
exploitation.
Huh?
You trying to exploit me? I ain't rocking with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
You trying to have me looking crazy? Who gonna respect my opinion when all they can see is how ugly I look? Like,
you see, that's the point right there. That's the point right there. You can be so ugly. All right, I'm gonna say this. Let's say you're very ugly, which you're not. You're a very attractive woman. Let's put that out there.
thank you.
But let's say you were ugly,
Uh,
and you said half of the things that you've said today. People would look at you completely different. They'd be like, "Oh, I mean, I think I could deal with me a 6 or a 5 today." Shit.
that's true.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So when you got the looks and the brains, it's like,
Chicks in the red.
Oh, he's
oh, God.
like sleep.
Chicks on the red.
And yeah, we have come to an end. Once again, thank you for joining us, Amatullah. I really appreciate
Snack
you.
people.
You're welcome. Good night, y'all.
Join us next week, episode 6. This should have been episode 6, honestly, but 5.5 will do. Good night, y'all.